Hey guys, Andrew here with Nashville Severe Weather. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect now for Davidson County. And you have to excuse me, I'm working through a cold here, so I have to stop and cough through it occasionally. But what we got going on here is in Cheatham County, we've got a pretty nasty storm that's coming right through the middle of Cheatham County. Right now, the biggest threat, according to the Weather Service, is going to be for very large hail that's falling through this storm. And we've seen pictures just here in the past few minutes of hail that is looks to be here, and you can see it on the T-Spotter feed over on Twitter. You can see, baseball size hail. It looks like on these. This is 2-inch plus hail falling over in Davidson County a little bit ago. So the biggest threat with this right now is going to look like it's going to be hail. So this is coming into Davidson County, the western side of Davidson County. You can see here who's included in this warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that was issued just a little bit ago, and this warning is in effect until 12:45. And this is mostly for northern Davidson County, basically from Old Hickory Boulevard or I-440 basically to the north, all the way up toward Goodlettsville. And it's for this cell that's coming in here through central Cheatham County. And you see these purples here and these reds. This is where the heaviest of the precipitation is falling, and at least right now it appears that it's very large hail falling out of that storm, or at least it was over there in Davidson County a little bit ago. So let's put this in motion here and kind of see how it's moving. Go back through the loop here. This is a storm that has had a tornado warning with it for quite a while. But as it approaches us, the biggest threat here is going to be large hail, at least for the time being. So again, the reports are that it's near baseball size moving east. So who's in the path of this as it moves to the east? If you are in downtown or off to the north, basically the northern parts of downtown, basically from Bordeaux up to Fontenelle, Beeman Park, Joelton, over toward the 2465 split over on the north side of town around Madison, over toward Lakewood. This is where these areas are the places that could experience the pretty large hail that was falling just now back over in Davidson County just a little bit ago. Again, if you look over on Twitter, if you're over there on Twitter, you can see some of these pictures coming in on the T-Spotter side, and those are pretty large hailstones falling out of that storm. So just going to take a look and see what this looks like as far as rotation right now, because this storm did have a tornado warning with it a little bit ago, but rotation has come down quite a bit in that storm. But any rotation is going to help build those hail sizes though as well, and loft that precipitation up and down where the hail continues to grow. So again, this is what we're looking at if you're just joining us. It is 12:20 in the morning. A severe thunderstorm moving into Davidson County. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect here until 12:45. And this is primarily for large hail. And the Weather Service here says that tennis ball size hail is possible out of this storm. And we've seen that and even a little bit better back over there in Davidson County a little bit ago. So here's what we're going to do here. Back out just a little bit, show you what's going on in other places. Some of you are asking about, is this the main show? And for right now it is. This is the supercell that we are primarily concerned with, and as it pushes off to the east. So it's moving east at about 45 miles an hour. And again, the biggest threat is going to be hail. So if you are in northern Davidson County, you definitely want to be away from windows. Probably want to be in the center part of your house to where you are not near windows as this comes through. If the wind is blowing at all as it comes through, wind-driven hail is the only thing worse than large hail, and that is a problem. So if the wind gets to blowing this hail around into your house, you don't want to be anywhere near windows as this comes through and pushes off to the east. So Beeman Park right now is where the heavy rain is picking up. Excuse me just a second. Let me mute just a second. You'll have to excuse me. I'm working through a horrible cold, and voice is a little ragged and doing some coughing. So just bear with me here, and we'll get through this one. So the storm is coming into Beeman Park now on the west side of Davidson County. all the way down to Bell's Bend. So folks here on Old Hickory Boulevard, that's on the west side of Davidson County, it's a fairly rural area out there, a lot of sod farms and stuff like that. That's where one of the first areas of Davidson County that this storm will affect as it comes through, especially with the large hail. As it moves on in, it's going to cross kind of Briley Parkway there on the northwest side of Nashville and near Whites Creek Pike. And as it continues pushing east, the largest hail will probably fall north of downtown, but it's going to be pretty close. And so any hail that's left in this storm as it pushes east is going to fall basically from downtown all the way up through the 2465 split, and up to the like Old Hickory Boulevard up on the north side of Davidson County. So let's talk about what to expect here with this. Excuse me just a second. Let's talk about what to expect with this. If the hail coming through Davidson County here in just a minute is going to be as large as what was falling out in Dickson County just a little bit ago, which I'm seeing more than one report here of baseball size hail. If that's falling out of this storm coming into western Davidson County, this is definitely going to wake your family up. And so I would definitely wake them up ahead of that. Get away from the windows and do not attempt to go outside and save anything out there of value to you. That hail is too big to be outside in, and so do not go outside and attempt that with this size hail. Again, if it's the same size that it's was reported out in Dickson County a little bit ago, it's not often we get hail that size here in the Nashville area. That's one of the largest hail reports I remember seeing around here, and I've been around Nashville for quite a while. We don't get baseballs very often. So again, for those of you just joining us, it's probably going to get a little noisy around here as the storm comes in from Cheatham County into western Davidson County and areas like Beeman Park down toward Bell's Bend. It'll be moving into the city after that as it pushes east over toward Fontenelle and eventually over toward Madison as it crosses the interstates there on the north side of town. And this is a severe thunderstorm warning for hail that could be up to, the Weather Service says, tennis ball size hail. We saw reports larger than that over in Dickson County just a little bit ago. So if that does fall, there's going to be a large segment of the population here north of I-40 that's going to have quite a bit of hail falling here in just a little bit. So whether that's still falling, hard to tell, but we're certainly going to be watching for reports. Do not go outside and try to take pictures of this as it falls. It's just too much and too big. So let us know what you're seeing after it passes. All right, so how do you send in reports? If you could send in your reports and just tweet. You don't have to tweet at us. You can just tweet and use hashtag TSpotter, and that will get the report to us. We'll send that over to the Weather Service. They're very interested in what's going on out there, obviously, right now, and so that's how you would get reports to us after the storm has passed. So looking at rotation again, see if there's any rotation showing up in this storm, because it certainly had a history of that. This storm really been coming in all the way from out in West Tennessee, and it's just been making a beeline straight for us. So seeing a little bit of rotation there south of Ashland City, but we'll keep an eye on that as it pushes east. But for now, we got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Davidson County until 12:45, and we'll see how that evolves over the next few minutes. You know, the storm doesn't look quite as organized as it did just a little bit ago. Reflectivities are coming down just a little bit, little less purple and more red. That's a good thing, but at the same time, we don't know what size hail right now is falling. David says over on Twitter. David, of course, is over on Twitter covering this. We're here on video, and Will is over there taking care of your reports that you're sending in. David says that the Weather Service got a report of hail the size of a tennis ball. Hopefully that was a Dixon thing. Don't go outside. Hailstones are too dangerous. Plus there's crowded ground lightning. And he mentions there how to send in reports. So yes, absolutely. Do not go outside as the storm comes in because the hail is too big to be outside with this. Plus the lightning threat. All right, let me look at your questions over here. Let's see here. Williamson County. This is not a Williamson County problem. This storm is not a Williamson County problem. We may have to deal with storms later in the night in Williamson County, but this particular storm is going to be a Davidson County issue. All right. Okay, let's see here. Let's put this in motion and see how things are going. This storm was under a tornado warning back in Dixon County, really ramped up back there and got rotation together out there. And now the storm, as it pushes east into Davidson County, looks like it's coming down just a tad, but we're really watching rotation to see if that ramps back up here in just a few minutes. So who's getting the storm now? That's areas like Fontenelle, Beeman Park, Joelton, and downstream of that, and that's going to be like the 24-65 split. And it looks like hail's ramping up again over back just west of Beeman Park. So that's going to be like Little Marrowbone Road, like Marrowbone Lake is out there in the west part of the county. So it looks like the hail might be ramping up again over toward Marrowbone Lake. And I'm going to turn this off, see if I can find the lake down there. For those of you that live out that way, oh, okay, it's up here toward the north side here. So maybe south of Marrowbone Lake. And so closer to Beeman Park, there's going to be some of the larger hail. Could be also some hail around Fontenelle, the Brawley Parkway area, there around Clarksville Pike and Buena Vista Pike going out of Nashville. So it could be some hail around there too, as well as up in Joelton, kind of heading for the Bakers community, the Luton's community, Ivy Point, and those roads, Greer Road, those areas up in there, could have some hail up there as well with this northern part of the storm. So that's what we're looking at now. Still a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 12:45, about another 15 minutes. We'll see how that evolves. And let me mute just a moment. You guys don't want to hear my coughing over the microphone, so I'm trying to hit the mute button just in time here. All right, so this storm still coming into Davidson County here. The meat of the storm, if you will, is just now coming into the county. They're on the west side around Beeman Park. And let's talk about who's included and who's not included right now. I know there's some questions about that. The polygon includes basically areas from 440 off to the north. So Bellevue, Creve Hall, Antioch, Brentwood, Fairview, Franklin, everywhere in Williamson County, you all are excluded from this. And so there are... you are not included in the polygon. Those of you that are included, basically Bells Bend, downtown Nashville, Vanderbilt, B&A, Hermitage, Madison, off to the north. So you guys are included in this polygon. And this is where the most severe part of the storm will be. So still getting reports in from over in Charlotte, Tennessee. That's over here in Dixon County. Of looks like a golf ball to tennis ball size hail out there again. So we really hope that was not something that carried over in the storm as it comes into Davidson County. But let's talk about what to expect here heaviest part of the storm now in western Davidson County. So if you live east of I-24 and 65 over toward Madison, it could get pretty noisy here after a while. You don't want to be outside. Don't go outside and try to save stuff, because these hailstones, if they're the same size as what happened out there in Dixon County, they're dangerous, and so you don't need to be outside with the storm coming in as it is. Hang on just a second, I'll be right back. All right, back with you here. So these purples here around Beeman Park, these are the heaviest returns. These would be the hailstones falling. If that's what it is, we can go over here to CC. This is correlation coefficient, and we can kind of see where the purple falls off into some yellows and greens. That's also an indication that there could be some hail falling in there. So if there's hail falling in the storm, it's going to be probably right in here around Beeman Park. And that's where it looks like right now the heaviest, if there's hail falling still, that would be where it is. Let's go and look at velocities. Still not seeing too much in the way of velocities, just enough rotation, enough shear in the atmosphere to really increase the hail sizes, but not seeing anything crazy as far as rotation goes. All right, let's see here. Okay. All right. Let's see here. I'm checking some stuff from the Weather Service. Weather Service sees the rotation we were talking about just a minute ago, some weak rotation there. The data is awfully noisy in that storm as we look at the rotation. Just doesn't look very strong to us here. Could be some wind with this. As I mentioned just a second ago, the only thing worse than large hail falling is large hail that's being driven by wind. And we've seen that in Texas a few times, where the wind will pick up real strong and drive this hail into your house. And we're not seeing that necessarily here. The wind doesn't look crazy, but large hail is definitely a problem. All right, so we're going to go over and look at, let's go over and look at TB&A. This is a radar in Nolensville we use quite a bit. Has a good perspective on the velocities. And as we go and look at, like in Bells Bend, looks like we have a tornado warning now. So we now have a tornado warning for Davidson, Sumner, and Wilson. All right, so let's talk about that. Let's go back to our, well, let's stay here just a second. We're looking at velocities here around Bells Bend, and a tornado warning now coming out for Davidson County. And this is going to be basically including downtown, everybody north of I-440 for rotation there around Bells Bend. And you can see that here on TB&A, and in fact it's tightening up pretty decently here around Bells Bend, pushing off to the east. So this is going to be, it's about to cross, actually, it's going to cross Briley Parkway there on the west side of Nashville and push east. All right, so let's go back to our other radar and let's look and see where this is going. You can see here the hook that's formed on the supercell just in the past couple of minutes. And this is ramped up pretty well just here in the past couple of minutes. So it looks like large hail now falling around Beeman Park. And then the part that we're concerned about with this hook here, this is a potential tornado that's pushing east, about to cross Briley Parkway on the west side of town. It would be generally heading toward downtown, and the Bordeaux area. Metro Center would be in the path of this. So let's talk about who's in and who's out. And by the way, this is a tornado warning that's in effect until 1 a.m. For Davidson County. So if you're just joining us, this is a tornado warning for Davidson County. And in fact, it looks to me like we may have one on the ground because we have a drop in our correlation coefficient here. And so it's possible that tornado is not only radar indicated, but there could be something going on there. So this is a potential tornado here in Davidson County as it crosses Briley Parkway. You need to get to the center part of your house. You need to get to the lowest level. If you are in Metro Center, if you're in Bordeaux, if you are in Talbot's Corner, Chesapeake, Good Pasture, East Nashville, downtown Nashville, you need to get to the center part of your home on the lowest level as this potential tornado approaches and crosses Briley Parkway. In fact, it looks to me like there is that we could have a tornado on the ground. All right, so let's talk about what to do real quick. So if you are in the polygon, which includes downtown Nashville and points off to the north, this is a tornado warning. You need to be on the lowest level of your house or your home. You need to be in an interior room, putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. So you need to get to the lowest level of your home, and you need to get away from the windows. So let's go back to the radar. We have a confirmed tornado now. The Weather Service is saying we have a confirmed tornado in Davidson County. And that's going to be right here as it crosses this is Briley Parkway, and there are reports now coming in of a funnel cloud being seen of this storm. So this tornado is heading east, and it is crossing Briley Parkway, and now it appears that this is definitely a tornado on the ground. This right here is debris being lofted. So this tornado is very near TSU. It's going to be crossing into Metro Center, and it's going to go into the Bordeaux area around Germantown and northern part of Davidson County, and then it's going to be crossing the I-65 area. Folks, don't mess around with this. If you're in Davidson County around downtown, if you are in the Metro Center area, Bordeaux, Fisk University, Germantown, First Tennessee Park, 5 Points, East Nashville, you guys need to be in your tornado safe place right now. Do not think about this. You need to act. You need to do it now. You need to go to the lowest level of your house. You need to be away from windows. You need to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And you don't need to mess around with this. If you live in East Nashville, if you live in Metro Center, Germantown, around First Tennessee Park, there's a confirmed tornado that is now about to cross I-65 coming into downtown. And so we are going to take the Midtown camera here. This is Midtown looking off to the east, but we are going to have this shot here as this comes in. So the tornado would be over on the left side of your picture as it comes in. I'm going to talk over this while we're watching this. If you live in Germantown, if you live in inside the interstate loop, you need to be at the center part of your house on the first floor, away from windows, and you need to have shoes and a helmet on. If you live in East Nashville, you guys need to be prepared for this as it comes in. I'm seeing power go out on the left side of the screen here that we're watching. This is the camera in Midtown looking east toward downtown. And I need to mute 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, again, we have a tornado on the ground in Davidson County. Radar has indicated this, and radar has confirmed this. And as this pushes off to the east, this is coming into downtown right now. We're seeing power come on and off in this camera image. And if you live in Germantown, if you live on the north side of downtown, if you live in East Nashville, you need to be on the lowest level of your home in the center part of your house. And we're seeing power flashes now on the left side of the screen. This is in Midtown looking off toward downtown. And so those of you that are in East Nashville, you need to be in your tornado safe place right now if you can hear me. You don't need to think about this. Look at all those power flashes there. Power flashes on the north side of downtown as this tornado pushes into East Nashville here in just a moment. Folks, you need to act right now. You don't need to think about this. You need to go right now. You don't need to go outside and look at it. You need to go right now to the center part of your house on the lowest level away from windows. And you need to do it right now. Do not think about this. Do not go outside and look at it. You need to do it right now. Tornado is crossing through downtown on the north side. That would be near the Capitol building. You're looking at the Midtown camera, looking off to the east. The tornado will be in East Nashville here in a matter of seconds. After the tornado crosses into East Nashville, it will continue going east, and it will cross Briley Parkway here in about 10 minutes. If you live near Lakewood, Hermitage, Donaldson, you need to be in your tornado safe place. You're looking at a live image from Midtown. This is looking east into downtown. Power flashes definitely seen there as it crossed. And right now this tornado is in East Nashville. You see power flashes there. The tornado is in East Nashville pushing to the east. So if you live in East Nashville, Inglewood, Shelby Bottom, Shelby Park, Donaldson, Peeler Park, Hermitage, Lakewood, you all need to be in your safe place. Lowest level, away from windows. Put a helmet on the kids, shoes on, and get to the lowest level. You're seeing power flashes continue there on the north sides of downtown as this tornado pushes off to the east. Again, do not go outside and try to look at it. Do not wait for the sound of a train. You need to go right now to the center part of your house. Looking over here at radar, we have very high velocities around the 5 Points area in East Nashville, just crossing the Dickerson Road area. And looking at other information here from the Weather Service, they are calling this a very dangerous storm, and indeed it is. So this is looking at the Midtown camera looking east toward downtown and toward Nissan Stadium and over into East Nashville. So once again, let's back out here on the radar, and we will rejoin that camera here in just a second. This is what we're looking at on radar. This hook right here is where the tornado is, and it is pushing east into Inglewood, Shelby Bottoms, and Shelby Park is where the tornado is now. This tornado appeared to cross through the northern parts of downtown, through Germantown. It's pushing east. So let's talk about what to do if you were in the path of the storm. If you were in Inglewood, Shelby Bottoms, Donaldson, Peeler Park, Hermitage, Lakewood, down to Colonial Village, all the way down to the airport, you need to be on the lowest level, interior room, putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Shoes and a helmet are a good idea. So again, don't wait to hear it. You need to act right now and do these things as it pushes east. Let's go back to radar here. Latest image just came in. And then we're going to go over and look at the Midtown camera as well. Tornado would be near Shelby Bottoms, near Inglewood, and approaching Briley Parkway to the east. Back to the camera here in Midtown looking east. Folks, we don't ask you to do this often, but this is a serious situation. And if you are east of I-65 in Davidson County, you need to be in your safe place. Lowest level, interior room, closet, or bathroom, putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. You're looking at the Midtown camera. If you're just joining us here, this is an image we are looking at of the potential tornado or confirmed tornado that pushed through just a few moments ago and went on the north sides of downtown and pushed east. New severe thunderstorm warning has come out now for Davidson County till 1:30, but right now we are mostly concerned with a tornado, potential tornado here near the Shelby Bottoms area. And I'm over here looking at radar off to the side of this as it is coming through, but the tornado right now appears to be near Shelby Bottoms and is going through Inglewood and will be very close to wave country here in just a minute as it crosses Briley Parkway, Opryland Hotel, And let's look at the velocities here. Very tight couplet, looking at let's see, radar's reading about 112 miles an hour up there, just about 400 feet. So very strong winds there near Shelby Bottoms. So back to the Midtown camera as we watch this. Getting reports as this came through that tornado has gone through the northern parts of downtown. Reading reports here of where this tracked. All right, so where is it going now? Let's not worry as much about where it just was. Let's get out ahead of this thing. Hermitage, Donelson, Colonial Village. Donelson, you're running out of time as far as getting in your safe place before it comes right over you. You need to be in your safe place at the lowest level of your home, into your closet or bathroom. Nashville Shores, Tulip Grove, Hermitage, Lakewood, Green Hill, Mount Juliet, Belinda City. Heads up, guys. It's heading your way. So, again, we don't ask you to do this often, but we need to ask you to do it now. We don't need you to wait until you hear it. You need to act right now and go to the bottom level of your home in an interior closet or bathroom to be safe from this storm. So, tornado now appears, pretty distinct tornado signature there around Shelby Bottoms. It's probably over here right now, over toward McGavick Pike. And you're looking at the Midtown camera here. I'm looking at radar off to the side. Let me switch this over here. This is the radar, pretty pronounced hook here as this tornado pushes off to the east. It should be over in Hermitage very soon. Riding up, this would be Lebanon Pike as it goes into Hermitage and eventually over into Tulip Grove. East Nashville, you're not in the clear yet. Excuse me just a second. East Nashville, you are not in the clear yet. You need to stay where you are for just a few more. Give us just a few more minutes here on this. All right, so East Nashville's back in here. We believe the tornado is out in here. So just a few more minutes until this thing pushes off to the east. Hermitage, Nashville Shores, Colonial Village, Donelson, Lakewood, Tulip Grove, all of you guys are in the path of this storm. Back to the Midtown camera here. This is looking off to the east, and a very pronounced area just a few moments ago to the left of your screen, just underneath the cranes.